My grandparents live on a farm, and consequently, you could say that I've grown up there quite a bit too. Now, while I may not appreciate driving the baler back and forth in the field on hot summer days, or tagging calves while their angry mothers snort behind us, I do enjoy being out there, four-wheeling through the pasture and down washed-out gravel roads, or playing hide and seek through rows of trees with my brother, are all memories that I hold close to my heart. However, I have begun to worry that there will come a time when children of South Dakota will no longer be able to enjoy these simple pleasures. I worry that the next generation won't know the difference between cropland and concrete, or what conservation really means. So after 75 years of conservation, what's next? Some suggest that this may be where the road ends, where we can drop our hard hats and begin to freely plow up and cut down once more. This, however, is not so. We have gotten this far, and now we must push further. So how do we continue to improve? First, we'll observe our surroundings and see how we got to where we are today in terms of conservation. Then, we'll dig up some dirt and examine the negative effects that will occur if we once again lack in our conservation efforts. And finally, we'll plant some solutions that can benefit us all. Thanks to the hard work and determination of the South Dakota Association of Conservation Districts, our state is growing and developing in agriculture and our environment. For example, the Rifle Lake Wildlife Tree Planting Project was completed in the spring of 1994. Now, it thrives as it provides excellent coverage and food for deer, pheasants, rabbits, and birds. The recognition for such projects often falls on our adult generation today, but oddly enough, this isn't who we should actually be thanking. Instead, we owe our debt to those who started this conservation revolution. Yes, we're proud of you for having 45-foot tall trees lining your roads and fields now, but what about those individuals who invested their time and money into planting and caring for them so many years ago? The Rifle Lake Project wouldn't have stood a chance without the efforts of Game Fish and Parks officials who protected and replaced trees and cultivated the land for 3 years. We need to acknowledge those who saw the opportunity for repairing our broken and destroyed agricultural system of the 1930s and made a difference. Now, before we let our egos get the better of us, it's time to take a glance at reality. Although we are still seeing much progress, our arrogance is steering us straight back to where we came from. For example, people are continuing to bring in their own firewood while we fight emerald ash borer, and while South Dakota's Forestry Department declares a full-scale war against mountain pine beetles, which have infested ponderosa pine trees on over 400,000 acres of Black Hills National Forest. The farmers are also choosing to put down record amounts of fertilizer in order to produce bin-busting yields, while CRP acres drop by 11% every other year. This problem is manifesting itself right before our eyes once again. Conservation can't just be tossed behind us in hopes that the increases of now will continue, because they won't. In Dr. Seuss's book, The Lorax, the Once-ler becomes so preoccupied with how well his needs are selling that he ignores the side effects that are impacting the environment and animals living among him. Soon, all of the truffula trees have been destroyed, and the land becomes uninhabitable. But we don't need a rhyme to see that we are headed towards this same fate, whether it be by planting as much as possible without taking the time to care for the land through something as simple as crop rotation, or by building further and further into wildlife habitats because the housing settlement just cannot be without a golf course. We have become a society that is fixated on nothing but materialistic now. But if we pursue this by destroying the lives of animals and depleting the land for generations to come, are we really winning? So, let's raise the disc, turn around, and see if we can solve our already growing issue. As funding decreases significantly, South Dakota's conservation districts must work to do more with less. Therefore, give the officials your gratitude and then get to work and help them out. We can help with funding by contacting our legislature and advocating a penny tax on rural water systems. These districts do so much, from planting shelter belts to providing weed control. We owe them our assistance. But you don't need to be a farmer in order to guard this precious land. saving water by taking shorter showers, using safe, chemical-free pesticides, and keeping fertilizers away from any creeks or ponds are all changes that will have huge impacts. We can't just rely on what's happened already, but how we can make this progress stronger. By continuing to monitor what we do, we can maintain our uphill climb towards more effective conservation and protection. When I was young, I didn't know why we had miles of trees to run through, or why my dad alternated between corn, wheat, and beans every year. As I've grown, though, I've come to understand and really appreciate why we do the things we do, because you never know when it could be gone. Now that we've seen how important conservation is and what we must do to preserve it, let's throw out the excuses and start anew. So after 75 years of conservation, what's next? Well, these acres of rolling plains could quickly turn into a country club, complete with a swimming pool and water slide. But as long as I'm around, South Dakota's agriculture and conservation are going to go nowhere but up.